Hey, well, thank you for having me. So one thing for sure off the top would be the need to continue working for grants and additional funding for more robust programs to be able to assist our kids. But more importantly, above all that, well, very critical point here is the importance of community. Kids want to learn when they feel like they belong. Kids want to learn when they feel like they matter and like they are seen. It motivates, it increases their intrinsic motivation to learn and to strive and to push their hardest. So one of these things to be able to achieve this goal would be to continue to work to find innovative ways to engage with our parents. So continue to providing funding for our community programs, for our parent workshops, for our parent-teacher home visits, but continuing to strive to find more and more ways for these parents to feel like they can engage with the school system and be able to have a voice in addressing their needs with the school system and any concerns that they might have. So one is continuing to engage with parents and find innovative ways to connect with them. Another really important thing would be the warmth of the environment in which our kids are studying. So working with administrators, with teachers, with staff to help make sure that we are making the environment in our classrooms and in our hallways warm and welcoming. Because again, these kids, they will strive, they will push themselves when they feel like they belong. With that though, obviously we're talking about like how punitive measures are, there's more frequently punitive measures for our minority students. So right now we have restorative justice measures and they are on paper, but on paper only, it seems like, because when we look at our statistics, it still is looking very dire. And that is very, very critical in terms of us addressing the implementation of these restorative justice measures, because when we are punitive in addressing the challenges that our kids are facing, the behavioral challenges, they lose motivation. They lose that sense of importance and belonging and that they matter in the district. So again, training and working with our staff to make our environment the most welcoming and addressing these punitive measures and implementing restorative justice would be very crucial. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lily. We'll start with Ms. King again.
Well, so as a licensed marriage and family therapist, working to restore relationship and trust in a relationship defined by mistrust is definitely something that I know is very, very challenging. So I think the first thing that needs to be done is the district, as the district and the leader, obviously in the situation, needs to be able to apologize and take greater acknowledgement and ownership of the part that they have contributed to the confusion in the district about where we are exactly in terms of our numbers and how the budget's being developed. So I think that the first step is that the district really needs to be more forthright in acknowledging their faults and apologizing and finding a way to be more, again, transparent in addressing the budget issues. After that, in terms of being able to acknowledge that fault, and the next step would be really important for the district to be listening more about, in terms of trying to understand the perspective of what it is that the union is saying, what the position that the union is coming from, and again, taking ownership, listening, so that we can find a mutual perspective to be able to move forward. Right now, it feels like two different stories when you talk with the district, or when you hear the district, when you hear the teachers union, it feels like we're hearing two different stories. So we need, the district needs to do a better job of listening so that we can find a more mutual ground to be able to step forward from. And that way now we're not seeing each other as it's pro-district or pro-unions, but that we're pro-children and that we can move forward in addressing the solutions together. And I think, again, that would be really, really important. And I think that part of this thing is also that the district needs to be honest too, in terms of that if we're asking our union partners to be able to work together with us in addressing ways that we can find cuts in our budget so that we don't cut any programs, but still able to move forward in having financial solvency. One way to send that message is to make sure also that we resend the raise that was given to the superintendent, and that we're being serious about the fact that we need to work together to address these issues. Yeah, so we are in the middle of a mental health crisis on top of the other crises that we are experiencing right now. And one of the key issues in terms of exacerbating mental health issues or mental health symptoms is loneliness and social isolation. And so I think the district has done already a really great job, I think, at helping meet basic needs like food, helping provide free internet and Chromebooks and all those different kinds of things. And I know that teachers are already doing an amazing job of trying to create these spaces for students to try to interact. But I think that we need to be more aggressive and more proactive in reaching out to our most vulnerable students. That could be from education leaders or from having recruiting peer leaders to reach out to different students or school counselors or school nurses to make sure that these students are hearing that, hey, we are checking up on you. We want to know how you're doing. Knowing that someone notices them again is so key in terms of fighting this sense of loneliness and isolation, which is critical for mental health. Along with that, in terms of long term, I think that one of the things that the district could do was start implementation of what are called adverse childhood experiences. It's called ACE assessment. It's being championed by the California General Surgeon. In terms of a very good indicator of where our most vulnerable children are for mental health issues specifically. And if we make this part of our regular assessment in terms of admission for kids, then we would be able to see who are our most vulnerable kids for having serious mental health issues. We'd be able to track them better, keep a better eye on them, have more follow up with them, and help provide, again, a more robust kind of network around them in coordination with the mental health system, with our health system, and with our schools to provide more support for these families. It's already something that Medi-Cal is being reimbursed for. And if we incorporate it into our school systems, it would be a way to protect these children even more so. Along with that, I think that we could do more to increase the use of mindfulness practices in our classrooms. Again, this is more of a long-term solution. We obviously do a lot already for our elementary programs, but we don't do enough for our middle school and for our high school students. These are very stressful times in our kids' lives. And, you know, I know my time's up, so I'll just say that we need to do more. These are basic skills that help them in school and also in their life.